I want you to know I also, despite the fact that we have been talking for like an hour and a half, just as a warm-up question mark, I literally saved this so that we would have a cold open.
Yeah.
So, I think I've mentioned it to you guys, but on a whim, I was like, I have Sly Cooper. I'm gonna fucking finish game 2. And I had this realization, which shouldn't have been a realization, but like I have not played these games since I was like a wee child. Video games were fucking easy back then.
Yeah, you mentioned 100%ing it.
It's super easy to 100% that game. You get like 80% of the way there simply by finishing the game. And then each of the 8 levels has, it's like a hub overworld or whatever.
Yeah.
There are 30 clue bottles to collect. You're like, wow, that kind of sounds like a lot. These areas are tiny because it's on the PS2.
Hey,
so like,
that's how you should be.
right? I'm like, this
Easy
is
to
actually
100% instead of having one achievement that's like bullshit.
I was literally like, this is peak gaming. And so, like, I realized when I'm going on my, like, sort of initial walkabout to, like, get the lay of the land and whatever, make sure that I, know where everything is, I would get, like, 15 to 20 of these fucking clue bottles.
Wow.
Oh.
Because it was that small, and also they make a very loud, like tinking noise, like, you can hear them. And I was like, I finished up the game and I was like, this is what gaming is all about.
This is the gamer.
This is the gamer. And I had this moment of realization, because I finished Wander Song, and spoilers, I guess. There's like a little bit at the end where you can go chat with the devs, and it like sparked a memory in my brain of, in one of the Ratchet and Clank games, there's a really cool, I would almost describe it as like an in-game museum where they like talk about the development and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you can walk around. It's really cool.
I love that.
That's cute.
But I remember you could only access it, you could access it any time in the game at like a really weird specific time of like the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning or something crazy shit. Or if you'd 100% of the game, you could access it at any time. Now, when I was young, bad at video games, and a cheater, I would just change the time on my PS2. But I had this realization that I was like, wait a minute, video games are, like, easy now? Like, those video games are easy to me now? I was like, I could probably 100% that game. And then I could go walk around a little museum whenever I desired. And it's just, it was so fun. I was like, damn, video games are easy as hell. We're so fucking easy.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that in contrast to my desire to 100% a game that came out in 2014 was still, like, insurmountable. I only got to, like, 80%, and I think I was like, alright, fuck this, because at this point it's just a bunch of bullshit collectibles that are a pain in the ass to go get and aren't worth it.
That's how games in 2014 were, yes.
Honestly, that's how games in 2020 still are.
Yeah.
I was like, alright, I've drained this game of all of, like, the actual story content. I have done almost everything that I want to do with this game. I'm done. I'm fucking done. Like, I have other games in my life that I need to play. And are some of them from 2005? Yeah, they are. Which, like, booting up a game and seeing, like the copyright from 2005 was very jarring. But also very charming. The funny thing about Sly Cooper is it's cel-shaded, so it still looks good, but the animation is so bad and I love it.
Yeah, I love old games for that. I love polygons. I love weird animation. It's why I really, really adore watching Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, because the animations are just...
It's very like, it's very like, everybody's mouth is so flappy and
because they were
weird-looking.
excited about their new tools. They wanted to show off the new tech that they could use.
It's so funny, and like, it's just so good. I love video games.
Yeah, I have a desire in my brain to want 100% games, but if it's like, I know I can't do this, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna bother. Like, the most recent game that I 100%ed was 999 and VLR in a pack together, because it was like, yeah, you just can.
Yeah. It's literally play the game.
Yeah.
Honestly, I the fact that I 80%ed a game recently is like insane to me. I never do that.
What
Yeah,
percent
I don't
do I have
finish.
on Wander Song?
I don't finish games. Yeah.
Oh, I'm missing 10 achievements on Wander Song.
Yeah, I said to myself, like, oh, I can maybe 100% Hades, because I really enjoy this, and I'm having a great time. And then I realized the 100% is get literally every single item in the game.
Yeah, a
was
game
like,
like that.
Yeah. I have always been like woefully goal oriented in video games. Like, I'm a little bit better now about like, okay, I'm gonna slow down, I'm gonna like do side quests and stuff. But I used to be whatever the bad version of a speedrunner is, because I would just do the game. Like, I would not do any side quests. I would not like explore. I was not like into collectibles. I was just like
A tunnel
game.
visioner.
Very tunnel vision. And especially in that era where like side quests were shitty. And it was just like do this same task 100 times in a bunch of different areas.
Yeah.
Or the collectibles were lame and didn't get you anything. It fucking sucks. But yeah, video games.
Video James.
Video James.
We could talk
I was
about
just having
Video
sort of-
James. This is a Video
That
James
can take
podcast.
us right into our episode.
Sure can. Let me do an intro. Hello, and welcome to Wikiboys, the podcast where three friends dive into the wonderful world of fandom wiki pages. I am your host, Aster, and I use she and they pronouns.
Hello, I am Alex, and I use he, him pronouns.
And I'm Rook, and I use they, them pronouns.
And today we are talking about the Assassin's Creed franchise. To lift the veil a little bit, the game that I 80%ed recently was Black Flag. I was like so convinced I was gonna 100% it, and then I was like, oh shit, like we're recording this episode soon, I should go like finish the story. It was almost shameful, I literally had like an hour left.
Oh no, yeah, right.
And then I finished it, and any desire that I had to go get like anything else in the game like immediately dissipated.
Yeah, it's
I was like-
really only when you're playing, it's like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, and so I was like, you know what? I don't need any more sea shanties. I don't care. I don't need any more.
Not going for
pretty
sea shanties?
Right, I'm pretty sure you care.
I mean, if I was still playing the game, I would absolutely go get all of them, because when you're sailing, your dudes like sing the sea shanties you collect. Like I was saying about collectibles not getting you anything, I like the sea shanties. It introduced diversity into what your dudes would sing, and it was fun.
Yeah.
It was like ultimately like meaningless, but it changed the gameplay in some way. But now that I'm done with the game, I'm like, well, I'm not ever gonna have to hear them again. So, and also they're a pain in the ass to collect.
Yeah, no, they were fucking nightmares.
That actually leads me perfectly into, let's talk about our mileage with the franchise. I'll start. So as I mentioned, I finished Black Flag. I finished Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. So the funny thing is, I love this franchise. I have only completed half of the games that I've played.
Oh. It's like that.
It's like that.
It is, especially with Assassin's Creed and how many fucking entries there are. I'll get into this a little bit, but also like they were churning them out very quickly for a while there. And it was very hard to like finish them before the next one came out.
No, it was a nightmare.
It was a fucking nightmare. So I finished Black Flag, I finished Assassin's Creed 2, and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. The games that I have played but not finished were Assassin's Creed Revelations, which sucks ass.
It's bad.
That's my It's alright. I'm glad you can back me up on that. It's bad. Assassin's Creed 3, which I want to finish at some point, but probably need the remaster. And Assassin's Creed Origins, which I will finish at some point. It's very good. It's just really long and very expansive, and there's like a lot to do.
Sure.
A boon of Assassin's Creed Origins is the side quests are like fun and entertaining But unfortunately that has bloated my playtime by a
Oh.
lot. Because I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna go do this thing, oh, I'm gonna go do this thing. Getting anywhere from point A to point B includes like 3 side quests and an exploration of a fucking tomb of some kind. So it's a great game. I'm just taking like 1,000 years with it.
Because you keep getting distracted by every single rabbit that crosses your path.
Yes, which is, it's fun. It's a good game, but much like the other ones that I've... Oh, I'm so sorry, Rook. I fucking steamrolled you. I don't...
I was waiting for Alex to give his mileage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so as far as my mileage, honestly, I can't remember if I finished the games that I've played because it's been a hot second. But I played 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, 3, and then part of Black Flag.
Oh, I see. You dropped off hardcore after the last good game for like 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed sure is a franchise.
It's a Ubisoft game. That's really all you need to know.
Yeah, I only know Assassin's Creed from Cultural Osmosis.
Oh boy, this will be a fun time for you then, Rook. So, I'm going to link the wiki for politeness.
You won't be talking off of it, will you, a lot?
I assume I have some things to like get through just to kind of, particularly Rook, to familiarize them with like
I mean,
the brief.
I know the basic of you go back in time and you do a cool parkour, and in one of the games you play as a sperm.
Did not remember that.
No? One of the games, it opens by, like, you play a sperm and then you get born.
That must be one of the ones I've never played.
Oh. Well, I'm glad I can bring something to you.
I just have some like brief overview stuff, and we will probably get into the wiki a little bit later, but as is my custom, Wikiboys is now just a vehicle for me to info dump about things that I like, so...
That's fine, it's what it's for.
Once again, I have a fucking hell document about Assassin's Creed.
Oh.
So, I have some notes. Important things to get out of the way. Anything that happens in the historical timeline is, at best, middlingly important. The modern day is where all of the plot happens.
And unfortunately, that part's boring as shit.
It's so fucking boring. So, the conceit of this whole thing is that there's a machine called the Animus that lets you view memories of your genetic ancestors.
Yes.
The sooner you accept this, the sooner we can talk about this series in earnest. The first time I ever heard that in Assassin's Creed 2, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's what I know Assassin's Creed is about.
And now I'm just like, yeah, you go into the Animus and you have genetic memories. And this is just sort of a note for the listeners. In terms of play orders, the best is release order, simply because you won't get used to new mechanics that suddenly aren't in an older game. I haven't followed this. I was playing Assassin's Creed Origins and then went back to Black Flag because I was having a pirate moment. But I was actually looking up Assassin's Creed 3, I think remaster, to get a little more information about it, and I was reminded that in that game, unlike in Black Flag, you can't, in the original release, you can't, like, hide in bushes to take cover.
Yeah.
And apparently, the re-release adds that, which was the clearest example of, oh, yeah, you don't want to go back, because then you'll be used to mechanics that they introduce in later games, and you're like, why can't I do this? They hadn't thought about it yet.
I spent, like,
Trying to
half
find the
that
game where I remember playing people, you play as a sperm and get born, but I can't find it. I've just been
really don't
Googling,
know
like,
what you're
Assassin's
talking
Creed
about.
where you get born, Assassin's Creed where you play as a sperm. I can't find it.
So if you guys have this wiki open,
Yeah.
the games, there is... The thing I like about this wiki is it is very nicely organized. I think it's very smartly organized. So I'm going to just have like a super brief, like, I know I was like, oh, quick and dirty rundown like the last time, but it like literally is. So, the first 4 games are Desmond time, which take place. Assassin's Creed 1 is 1100s Holy Land, 2 and Brotherhood are Renaissance Italy, and Revelations is, I think, the late...
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
It might
a
be
little bit of-
Assassin's Creed 2.
Okay, I played that one and I don't remember that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's...
Hey, what the fuck? Sorry, I'm gonna open this page right now.
Due to the bleeding effect, Desmond has gained eagle vision, enabling him to see a variety of messages and symbols. I'm skipping through this.
Yeah, I sure
paragraph.
am.
He then re-enters the Animus briefly and watches the birth of Ezio Auditore da Firenze as she makes a copy of the files located within the machine.
Holy shit, I don't remember that at all!
I do not remember that.
No, that's one of the only things I know about Assassin's Creed is that a baby get born.
Oh, I have, like, a vague memory of, like, Ezio being born, but I don't remember, like, you play as a sperm.
I know that there's at least one game where it opens with you be sperm. Here's a picture of baby get born.
That is actually sparking some memories in me. This, the best part about, like, especially, like, this era of Assassin's Creed is everybody's so ugly and muppety, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a game in 2009 and people were trying to figure out how to make carrying characters look like people and not doing a good job.
Yeah, a lot of old games are very smushy.
And the colors in those early entries are really ugly.
I guess maybe it's possible I made up you playing as a sperm.
No, I believe it.
I believe it, but the more you keep saying
open an
it...
Assassin's Creed 2 cutscene movie.
God. And Revelations is a little bit of late Renaissance, like Istanbul, Constantinople. And for relevance's sake, I finished 2 and Brotherhood and played Revelations, but it sucks ass.
You don't need to talk about Revelations, it's fine.
It's not important. Ezio is old and he sucks and he's bad to play, and the guards are way too hard. I don't know why anybody... It was a bad game. The next, I guess technically 4-part series, but we can talk about, is Kenway Time. So that takes place. 3 is Revolutionary America. Assassin's Creed Liberation is, I want to say, like, the French and Indian War in New Orleans and the Louisiana Bayou.
Yeah, so in
the
the
thing about-
1770s.
Yeah. So the thing about this game is it was originally released on PlayStation Vita, which is why it did badly. Which pisses me off because the protagonist of that was a black woman.
Yay!
Yeah.
And they dumped it onto a shitty platform. It did eventually get a re-release a couple years later, like an HD re-release on PlayStation and
PC.
Everything. I guess I got a remaster for Xbox One and PC. Interesting. I don't know if the game itself was, like, good.
It wasn't good. This is one of the ones that
Yeah.
I played that I forgot that I played. It unfortunately was not good.
Black Flag, which is Pirate Time. And the one that I always forget about is Rogue, which is 7-Year War in New York, Nova Scotia area.
Fucked up. Also, it is Assassin's Creed 2. I did make up the sperm part, though. You do play as a baby get born, though. Or at least you, like, watch the baby get born and you're like, yeah, you play as the baby that get born.
Yes, you play as baby get born.
Okay.
So I have finished Black Flag. I played, like, most of 3. I actually booted it up recently and found that I was probably about 80% of the way through the story. And just to show the difference, like, I was still in high school when I played 3 last. Just to show the difference between, like, my playstyles now and my playstyles then was, I believe I was about 21% finished with the game.
Wow.
Yeah, Rook, he's real muppety.
I was looking at the cutscene again.
And 3, I think I fell off towards the end because I have diseases. The Initiate duology, Unity is about the French Revolution, and Syndicate is about Victorian England. I super briefly touched Unity. Like, I don't even want to say that, like, I played it, because I genuinely played it for, like, probably 5 or 6 hours, which is enough to get through, like, the tutorial, basically, and the first missions. You can't do shit. You don't have any of the plot. And I fully intend to play Syndicate at some point. I don't know what the fuck these are about.
Syndicate is Victorian England.
Yeah, I know Syndicate is Victorian England, and I actually think the first mainline game that was, like, released for everybody where you could play as a woman.
Yeah. It was,
Because
you could pick either or. You get 2 siblings.
yes, there are twins, and I wasn't 100% sure if it was like, oh, sometimes you're the boy, sometimes you're the girl, or you just get to pick. because Unity came out and everybody was like, hey, you made 4 characters for this game and none of them are women. Like, what the fuck? And that was about
Assassin's
the time.
Creed the game where that one dude was like, it's too hard to model boobs?
Yes! It's too hard to model women. And which birthed one of my favorite quotes, which is, how does she fight? With a boob? So to Ubisoft's very mild credit, they did take that to heart for the next one, and they were like, hey, you can play as a girl in this one. And our final trilogy, as current, is the Layla trilogy. Origins is ancient Egypt in like the Ptolemaic era, like Cleopatra's there. Odyssey is ancient Greece, and Valhalla is ancient Vikings. It's not finished. Valhalla hasn't come out, and Origins is a long fucking game, so I haven't finished it. I want to touch Odyssey because it's good, and also you can also play as a woman, and it's very gay because it's ancient Greece. I want to touch Odyssey, but I have aforementioned diseases. The coolest thing about this trilogy is Origins kind of saved the franchise. It hugely reinvented what Assassin's Creed games look like in terms of gameplay, and I think at about Unity, they stopped churning them out every year. The thing about Unity and Rogue, that one in 7 Years' War in Nova Scotia, is they literally released on the same day. So they just like abandoned Rogue to a previous generation of consoles and then put out like a shitty game about the French Revolution. People liked Syndicate pretty well, but there was a decent gap between Syndicate and Origins, and when it came back, it was like, this is a fucking RPG now, basically. There's, like, skill trees, and you level up, and, like, it's, like, totally different. I mean, there's still cool parkour and assassinations and all the stuff that you generally expect from an Assassin's Creed game, but the gameplay is totally different, and the games are, like, good now, and so everybody was like, oh shit, this franchise is, like, worth saving now. So, I have a lot of personal love and respect for Origins. I mean, obviously, like, it's a good game, people like it, but, like, I like this stupid Sizboy franchise a lot. And I'm very grateful to Origins for fucking saving its ass. So, I have an important topic to bring up is, like, Templars versus Assassins. This conflict is most literal in, unsurprisingly, the game set during the Crusades. But as far back as Ptolemaic Egypt, good guys who work in shadow fight a sort of Illuminati, Masons, New World Order, the rich people control everything kind of shit. The big bads that control all the government. Oh, yeah, hell yeah! Thank you, Alex, for bringing us the gay content from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I also think it might be that the female character is, like, quote-unquote, like, more canon than the male one or something. I don't know how that works.
Like, I
guess
she's technically the canon timeline, but you can pick to play as the dude.
Oh, right?
It's pretty right. We can definitely talk about
Sorry,
Odyssey.
I completely pulled you off topic because I saw that and was like, oh yes, I remember, they are gay.
No, it's really good, and I think everybody should look at her. So, basically, that's sort of like the central conflict. So these ones that take place in, like, basically pre-Crusades times, they don't have it be, like, straight up and down, like, Templars versus Assassins, but that's still the conflict that's going on. You are still technically an assassin. You have all the assassin things. You are killing big bad government men and women who control people and blah, blah, blah. And the last note that I have on here is perhaps the most bonkers thing about the series. The precursors and the Pieces of Eden.
Oh, yes. I was excited for you to get to this.
This is all written in caps. I just want you to know that this is the energy that this has. The precursors and Pieces of Eden. I'm saving this for now because it's fucking bonkers. Anyway, there's godlike humans, and that's the fucking point of the series. You get these magical fucking relics, and whoever has more of them can be more powerful, whatever. It's insane. Imagine how I felt seeing... Imagine how I felt seeing fucking Minerva for the first time in this otherwise grounded series. This shit will probably comprise the rest of the episode.
What? Wait.
Let me get you Minerva.
Okay.
Please get Minerva.
If I can remember how to spell her name. We can get to the database Les Miserables. I cannot spell Minerva.
I got it. It's fine.
Thank you. I'm bad at words.
So, I believe in Assassin's Creed 2?
All I remember is that the end of Revelation, everything going to fucking bonkers town.
I sure don't remember that. So, on December
Is he also a
28th,
prophet?
1499, Minerva appeared to Ezio Auditore as a holographic form within one of the temples, known then simply as the Vault. So yeah, you're just like a dude bebopping around in Renaissance Italy. You have gay fumes with Da Vinci. And you're like, alright, yeah, I'm gonna kill the Pope or whatever. Yeah, Rook. And then at some point, I want to say...
You didn't...
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah, it's... So, I'm bebopping around, I've killed the Pope, and then all of a sudden, there's a hologram lady, and she's like, here's this mystical relic that gives you powers.
Nebulous powers.
Nebulous
Okay.
powers. And then, like, that's what the whole fucking franchise is about. So... It's the reason that I say, like, oh, the historical parts are barely important. You, more often than not, in the present, sometimes you're a dude named Desmond Miles, sometimes you are an unnamed player character.
I think the only
Whatever.
names I'm familiar with are Desmond and Ezio.
That's really all you need.
They were, yeah, in the modern day, more often than not, you are either working for or captured by, depending on the vibes, of a big evil Templar company called Abstergo. Abstergo made the Animus. They get people, rifle through their memories to find out where these super powerful precursor artifacts are held. That's the only important part about like, all the other shit you do, like, oh, go kill the Pope or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. It has no bearing on the actual plot of the series. Which is my favorite part about Assassin's Creed, is the bulk of the time that you spend in the game just doesn't matter. But it's fun gameplay. And the thing about Minerva, the thing that I actually discovered is, apparently this race of people has a name. Yes, the Isu? I don't know.
You played the games.
I played the game. I don't know if they ever, like, when they use that word in the games. Most people call them, like, the precursors, or those who came before, the first civilization. Like, they get a lot of different names.
Sorry, I just found Adam and Eve, but they look...
Yes, I'm so glad you found that!
Cyborgs?
So, okay. This ancient race of people who were, like, super technologically advanced quasi-humans created humanity as a slave labor race,
Oh,
and
no!
then used the apples of Eden and other, like, relics or whatever to control them.
Her hair
Adam
looks
and
so
Eve
bad.
took an apple of Eden and revolted or whatever, and that's how we have humans now.
Oh, okay.
So
Her head looks like it doesn't belong to her body, and her hair looks really bad.
it looks extremely bad. So, although the Isu were native to Earth and a product of thousands of years of evolution in their own right, their exact origins are unclear. Minerva, an Isu and member of the Capitoline Triad, simply stated that her kind, quote, came before humanity and were responsible for the creation of Homo sapiens as a capable and docile workforce, albeit one formed in their own image. Accompanying this, the Isu created Homo neanderthalensis, Neanderthals, whom they designed to be an expeditionary or military force.
What?
While Minerva openly admitted that the Isu built humanity with the capacity to survive Earth's harsh environments, Juno made it clear that humans were not intended to be, quote, wise, thereby ensuring that they were to be obedient and resilient cattle to suit their creator's needs.
Damn, do they have something to say about God?
I don't fucking know.
No, I mean, I forget, is it Ubisoft?
Yes.
Ubisoft
I
has something
don't-
to say about God.
I don't fucking know at all, bro. there's also, like, sages? And I don't even know what they do, but they have heterochromia, so that's...
Like, baseline?
Yes, they all have the same face and they all have heterochromia.
Is the heterochromia different, or is it just the same heterochromia?
I think it's the same heterochromia.
Lame.
It's kind of lame. Torquemada contemplating the apple. Yep. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Sages, classified hyperhominids by Abstergo Industries, are human reincarnations of Aita, a member of the Isu and the husband of Juno.
God.
Oh, I guess Aita is this, the picture, the embed of this, the link of the Isu, is this sort of sad-eyed man. That is who, apparently, Aita. Aita created the observatory on the island that would later be known as Jamaica, so that was what I was dealing with in Black Flag, and functioned as an overseer of the Pieces of Eden. During the waning years of the Human-Isu War, Aita volunteered to participate in his wife's controversial attempts to save their species by transferring his consciousness into an artificial body. I literally, like, I don't even... the main, like, the 80% of what you play in the games is, like, fun and interesting and, like, it's... I'm ashamed to say that, like, particularly Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, like, taught me more about Renaissance Italy than I care to admit.
God. Did you, like, do, research outside of Assassin's Creed, or do you only know about Assassin's Creed?
Oh, I did research outside of it. I've forgotten it all, but I did.
So, one thing that I will say is, in terms of, like, whenever you, like, discover locations or people or whatever... usually there's like a little database and it gives you, I think, mostly accurate information. One of the cool things about this series is if you sort of take out all of the, like, you know, Assassin, Templar, like, it's pretty historically accurate. They put a lot of work in.
Yeah, that's what I've
make
heard.
The environment's very lifelike. Actually, one of the cool things about Origins is it has like a discovery/education mode where they put in so much work to recreate ancient Egypt and had to talk to, like, a lot of Egyptologists.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
It is insanely detailed. And in order, you know, so basically they made this incredibly accurate simulation of ancient Egypt, and there's a mode where it turns all the enemies off, and you just wander around, and it just, like, tells you facts about ancient Egypt.
That's fun.
It's cool as hell. I haven't touched it yet, mostly because I'm, like, I want to discover these locations and stuff on my own, and blah, blah, blah.
That sounds like something you do, like, after you've played the game.
It's very much like an after you've played the game thing. Or if you don't care about, like, the game, and you just want to walk around ancient Egypt. But it's super cool. And that's why, like, how I learned things about, like, Renaissance Italy and, like, buildings, you know, all, like, the oh boy. I'll tell you, launching himself with the catapult. Men are always doing this. They sure are. And so, like, it's very, fun to be like, oh, like I said, like, you really do have, like, homosexual tension with Leonardo da Vinci. Like, I'm not kidding about that. People do ship them, and they're right, because it is a little bit gay.
It is quite a little bit gay.
My favorite one is Assassin's Creed 3, because, like, you just straight up, like, hang out with fucking George Washington.
It's really good!
It's really good! There's also a DLC that I desperately want to talk about where George Washington is, like, super evil.
God!
Yes!
It's incredibly funny.
Is there a boss battle against George Washington?
I haven't played it, but I have to assume there is.
I'm gonna see if I can find it.
I'm gonna pivot wildly, and we're gonna talk about the tyranny of King Washington!
Okay!
One of the cool things, I also really like Assassin's Creed 3 because you play as... Oh shit, I used to remember how to say his name. Forgive me if I butcher this. Raton Kaheton?
Yeah, it's ish. I unfortunately could never exactly remember how to say it, so in my mind he's Connor.
Yes, he is half native? Because his mother was native and his dad is a white man.
He has parentage. One of his...
Yes. And he is fucking cool as hell. He's from, oh shit, where is he from? Mohawk Valley. Okay, yeah. So it's like, one of the things that I've always liked about this series is, I mean, like, the first one you're literally playing as, like, a Muslim dude.
Oh.
And so as much as people are like, bad game where you play as man, which is a valid complaint, like, as a gamer with a female inclination, like, I get it, but I think it's pretty cool that, like, 2 or 3 of the protagonists, even before you could play as a woman, were, like, not white, and also not white in a way that you rarely see in video games.
I guess it depends on how they're written and handled, which we can't have any insight on.
Yes. What I will say is, like, from my perspective, like, they do a lot of research.
Okay.
And they put a lot of care. And I know that there was trivia about his name, Connor's name.
Let me just hand you his page.
Yes, thank you. Yes, since every Mohawk name is unique, Ubisoft agreed not to trademark the name Raton Kaheton at the advice of their Mohawk cultural consultants. So, like, they gave up a capitalism to be respectful.
Wait, they trademark character names? I guess that makes sense. I just never considered that you would do that before.
Right.
This guy looks cool.
Yeah, it's...
The assassin hood is very cool to me.
It is, and it's, like, it's cool, and so, I don't want to come off like I'm praising a big corporation like Ubisoft, but, like, I think it is cool. Like, their first game was about a Muslim dude. One of their games is about, like, a Native American dude. Yes, they have a lot of games about white people, but, like, I also just like Connor. I think he's a good boy.
Oh, yeah, Connor is one of the other ones that I'm familiar with in name.
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm like, Cheems, I like him.
Honestly, yeah, I just like him a little bit. I remember people thinking that he was a whiny bitch, but everybody thinks all video game characters are whiny for some reason.
It's 'cause they talk.
Basically.
Yeah, they talk and
If
have
you
problems
talk,
that aren't
everybody
you.
hates you.
Which is why everybody loves Link.
Yeah.
And so I got really distracted by this incredibly good picture of Connor fighting a bear. Hold on. This is one of those... Yeah, I'm getting it. This is one of those really good wikis that has, like, the captions, which makes for fantastic comedy.
Yeah. Connor fighting a bear. He sure is.
Fuck, buddy,
He
sure
fucking
is.
So, yeah, I'm very, Cheems about Connor. I like him. He's my boy.
Hey, I think now, unless this means anything to both of you, I think I found an error on this wiki. Which is Mark Twain and Nikola Tesla using the apple during an experience. Sure it's not meant to be experiment?
It could be both.
It could be both.
It could be either.
Why would they use experience there?
Honestly, that could be verbiage in the game that's just weird because this game is primarily made by a bunch of French Canadian people.
That explains a lot about Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the best part about Black Flag is that's one of the games where, like, you just play as in the present you're playing as just like an unnamed player character, and so everyone you meet is like French because you're in like Ubisoft Canada.
Yeah, you're in.
So everybody you meet is French Canadian.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Okay.
Let me see if I can fucking find and. No, I don't care about the pirate plot. I only care about the modern plot. Because I want to... Yeah, like Olivier Garneau. He's just here, and he's very threatening. We'll get back to the Tyranny of King. Hey, why is my dog down here?
We won't, but...
Okay. I want to get back to it. I've never played it, but I want to talk about Evil George Washington really badly. But yeah, this dude is just, like, here, and I hate him.
Yeah. He looks like a man.
He sure does. His aura is incredibly threatening. But yes, like, the best part is, I think in earlier parts of the game, especially if they weren't main characters, people would just have, like, really wonky, like, French-Canadian accents.
Yeah.
Despite the game taking place in Renaissance Italy.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so special to me. Like,
God, I feel like I remember hearing that, yeah.
usually, like, the main characters would sound okay, because, like, they had the budget to, you know, get real people.
Yeah.
But, like, your average random dude would just sound like some fucking random person they grabbed off the street in Montreal. And it was
It's probably just employees.
It probably just was. And it's just so special to me.
Wait a fucking second. This random Abstergo employee has connections to Watchdog? So they're the same universe? Excuse me? Oh my god. Okay, I don't actually know. I'm just trying to, like, frantically search the wiki to see if this is actually the case, but I think technically Assassin's Creed and Watchdog take place in the same universe.
Yes.
Hopefully, yes. Oh.
Sorry, I had to ban my dog from my realm, but yes, that is canon. It's like a
Why?
super...
Isn't Watch Dogs modern?
Yep.
Yes, because this takes place... Because this dude, Olivier Garneau, it's in modern, quote-unquote, modern day of 2014 when the game came out, but... Because I think Watch Dogs, one of the Watch Dogs takes place in Chicago, where this dude goes at some point in this game. I think you can find him or something?
Find him.
Her files on Olivier include a receipt from a fast food chain featured in Watch Dogs. A CTT image features a man attacking him, looking very similar to Aiden Pierce, the protagonist of Watch Dogs. So apparently you can go beat this guy up in a fast food restaurant.
Hey, really good. I don't know 100% what we were talking about, because I do just have the Tyranny of King Washington open.
Go ahead.
I want to talk about it so bad,
Dude,
especially
go
because I
ahead.
don't know a whole lot about it, so it'll be a discovery for me, as well as you.
Well, yeah, there's Aiden Pierce.
In the newly founded United States, I'll link it for a third time if people need it. Also, because I love to look at this fucking poster. It's so... To give a brief description, first conjure George Washington in your mind. Okay, now he's evil, wearing a crown, and sitting on a throne.
Hey, he's always been evil.
Well, yes. But, like, visually he's depicted
No,
as
he's
very
sitting like
evil.
how Leo sits on his robo throne or whatever.
Actually, a better description is he's sitting like a Jarl in Skyrim. And he's like, it's very like dramatic shadow lighting. Yes, Rook, you are right. He has always been evil, but he is specifically depicted as evil in this picture.
Yeah, this picture is more shadow than it is light.
It's incredibly funny.
It's so dark.
In the newly founded United States of America, Raton Kahezan awakens from an unsettling dream to find that despite his efforts to deliver justice, a new king had been crowned, George Washington. Raton Kahezan then proceeds to attempt an epic quest to restore a kingless society. So I literally think there's a part where you just, like, go and confront Washington and you just beat the shit out of him for being a king.
Holy shit.
There's also some real good shit, like, Raton Kahezan meeting Jefferson. And I love everything about these games. Especially because my favorite part about them is they consistently make historical figures, particularly the men, like the ugliest people on the planet. It's so funny. Like, all of the characters in Black Flag were hilariously ugly. And I say this with, like, love. It was so fun, because Black Flag has, Mara Reed and Anne Bonny in it. They are women, so of course they are pretty, which, I mean, as a woman who does a woman, I was very happy. But it was also incredibly funny because everybody else looked like dog shit. And part of that is 2014 Assassin's Creed looked weird and lumpy and muppety, and they were very obsessed with, like, adding really more skin texture than was necessary. So everybody looks extremely haggard and, like,
just terrible complexions.
awful complexions, like, just crap complexions, and it's so funny. Oh, apparently you killed fucking Benedict Arnold in this game.
Shit.
You go into the Animus scape and you fucking kill him. That's also my favorite thing about the Assassin's Creed games is, obviously, you are an assassin. You get sent to kill a lot of people. The best thing that happens is, inexplicably, when you kill them, you then go into this polygonal world, and you talk to them, and then they die. And there's really no indication of what that's supposed to look like in the real world. Like, you just walk up and stab them, and it's so good. And the whole Animus thing, I remember the first time I ever saw Assassin's Creed, I was so baffled by the user interface, because I was like, why is this game set in, like, the Crusades, have this, like, weird, sleek, modern interface?
You want it to be shit?
Well, I wanted it, like, I didn't want it to be shit, but I was like, why does it not
You want it to look like wood panels?
I don't know, like,
No, it's
a little just...
No, Aster is
Donkey
totally,
Kong?
Aster is totally right, where it's like there is a cognitive dissonance between your control, like all of your little control buttons, and the way the game
fair.
actually looks. Because it's all like very technological and all very sci-fi feeling, when the game itself is very not sci-fi.
Right, and when and the thing is, at the time, like, I was watching my dad play the first Assassin's Creed, I didn't understand this whole, like, Animus thing. Like, now I don't care, it makes sense.
It makes
sense. I'm putting quotes around sense. It makes more design sense because essentially you are in a digital reconstruction of this person's memories. So I'm like, okay, yes, you're allowed this polygon hell space where you kill people. When I was just watching it, I was like, why the fuck does this game look like this? What the hell? It was so incongruous. Now I'm like, yeah, you're in the Animus. But every time I have to go back and face the reality of the concept of genetic memories, I'm like, it's so insane. This game series asks so much of you. And I love it, and I also hate it.
Isn't that how the best franchises are?
Yeah. I would definitely say that, Wait, hold on. I found a really good paragraph in this Tyranny of King Washington, because I want to keep talking about it, but unfortunately I don't know enough about it. The second to last paragraph in the plot synopsis is... Hold on. Whew. On touching the apple, the illusory timeline collapsed, freeing Connor and Washington. After aggressively glaring at each other, Washington picked up the apple and gave it to Connor, declaring he did not want it.
That's a really good sentence to think about conjuring how it would look like in my brain.
It's incredibly funny. This picture isn't quite them glaring at each other, but it is this interaction happening. Also, it's a better picture of my boy.
It is a good picture.
Where you can, like, see his face, and I love him. But my favorite thing about this is, like, it literally is just like, what if we made a fucked up dream sequence where Washington was super evil and you had to kill him? It's just such a special time. I'm trying to think of, like, what else we could potentially talk about, because I feel like there's a lot to get into.
It seems there's a shit ton of shit in Assassin's Creed, but not all of it is worth, like, talking about.
Yeah, especially because, like I said, like, so much gameplay is just, like, not relevant.
It's a parkour game.
It's a parkour game, and it's a cool parkour game where, like, you...
Jump.
Interact... Yes. Yep.
You jump and you run. Jump. And sometimes you kill a guy.
And sometimes you kill a guy. Actually, I want to talk about... I think we're going to talk about Black Flag, because it is the one I most recently played.
Go ahead.
And also, like, I've linked the cast specifically because, like, I want you to see how ugly these people are. Like, they all look like dog shit. It's so funny.
It's just a list of names.
Okay. Yes. Let me see.
Is there not a category cast?
Well, there should be. I mean, I don't know that there's, like, a picture of everybody. But, like, let me see if I can find, like, the ugliest possible person.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's category Black Flag characters.
A particular favorite, Jack Rackham just looks like shit for no good reason. He's super ugly. Oh, yes, Benjamin Hornigold in his really quite awful sideburns.
Jack Rackham looks like a knockoff Halloween costume of Johnny Depp's Pirate Man.
Yes, he look.
Yeah.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is kind of how some of these pirate costumes feel.
Yeah.
Yes. The best one, my favorite, is Bartholomew Roberts. I desperately need to... Black Bart, also.
Yeah.
Yep. So, the best part about this is you just get to, like, interact with historical pirates. Like, fucking Blackbeard's here. It's great.
Oh.
And he looks like ass.
He doesn't have a beard.
No. This is Bartholomew Roberts' Black
Oh.
Bart. My favorite part is whatever little gay thing he has going on around his neck. There's like floof and there's necklaces and I love his ugly mustache. No. This is Blackbeard. Ooh, there we go. And these renders are doing them so much kindness because in game they look real bad. Oh, yeah, here's a really good picture. Thatch demonstrating his theatrics on Stede Bonnet. It's a real good picture!
Uh-oh.
Inexplicably, your boy Edward is in the back fucking shirtless.
Oh, God, he looks... Ooh.
He's uncomfortably shiny.
Oh, man. This game looks so dirty, which, like, fair.
It's fair, but also they look like such ass. It's so
look really
fun.
Bad.
Especially, like...
I feel like if I sprayed them, it would leave a trail.
Yes, I genuinely... Oh, here's another
so
picture.
Dirty.
Here is another picture of his bare chest. The worst part about his bare chest is that it shows up an uncomfortable amount in gameplay because you can both do like undersea diving, which he is shirtless for, and you can also go like whaling, and he is also shirtless for that. And I'm like, please stop making me look at his chest because it's real bad. I don't like to look at him. It's not, but he's not sexy. Hey, I'm gonna, God, this is a real good image. Hold on. I'm just continuing to paste ugly images of them rendered in game engine.
God, this is so dark.
This game looks so bad.
What is that? Oh no, no one can do liquid physics right.
Edward showing the spoiled medicine to Thatch and Bonnet.
Oh.
It's really hilarious that you say it looks bad because I played it like when it came out, probably like the week of. And I was like, oh, this is the best looking game ever. Look at all this water physics.
Oh, I will say, full credit, at least the Xbox One version, the water is gorgeous. Like, which makes sense. You are sailing a good chunk of the time in the game, so of course they're gonna make that part look good. Like, there are genuinely, like, there were parts where I was sailing and I was like,
I mean,
damn.
if your water looks like shit in a pirate game, you did a bad job.
Your
Right,
resources were poorly managed.
Yes. Let me see if I can find, like, a screenshot. Like, there were parts where I'm like, this fucking game hang out in 2014, and it looks, like, really good. Oh, here's a decent picture. Kind of showing, like, how nice and, like, atmospheric the sailing feels. Like, this straight up looks good. When you compare these two screenshots next to each other, like, weirdly shiny Edward Kenway versus gorgeously rendered water, it's like, how the fuck are these from the same game?
Wow.
Hey, I didn't know that there were comics.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of comics.
I knew that there was comics. I've read a couple of them, but I forgot that there were comics that like cover things that happen in the game. Oh, I like this picture. This is a good picture that you've linked, Alex.
It is a good picture. I do like Adewale. I cannot remember.
Adewale, I love him. He's very good. He is your quartermaster for most of the game, and he keeps his white boy in check. It's real good. But yeah, the thing, I like Black Flag particularly because I was deep in pirate brain rot.
You still have a
You still
pirate
are.
icon right now.
Yeah.
Just two
Black
Yuji's
Sails
talking
is-
to a pirate.
Two Yuji's talking to Captain Flint. Yeah. Black Sails is good and I like it. It was also incredibly funny because a lot of these characters that were in Black Flag were also in Black Sails. And that's a Stars show.
Wait,
where
those are two
people
different
look-
games?
So Black Sails is a TV show.
Oh,
Black Flag
wait,
is
right.
the game.
Sorry, my
Yes.
brain turned off.
It's fine. We're talking about video games. And so it was so funny to immediately come off the heels of a Stars TV show with like pretty boys and like cool, like rugged costuming to like men who look like dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, go back to Jack Rackham. Give me a hot second. I'm gonna find what he looks like in Black Sails. And I just want to like, I want to let that sink in for you guys.
Yeah, every character in Black Sails looked like they were made to be pretty.
Even though I remember making a joke very early on when I was watching it. I was like, I think the casting call, specifically for extras on this show, was like, must have dog shit complexion to be... Because everybody looks rough as hell. I don't even know how they did that, because like I look at pictures of the cast normally, and yes, I'm sure there's, you know, makeup and editing, but I'm like, how did you guys make their skin look that bad?
I mean, they could probably purposely make it look bad. There's a lot of shit you can do with makeup, bud. It's not just for making shit look good.
No, I know. I don't know how they did it.
Probably on
Like,
purpose.
Clearly on purpose, but I don't know how. Oh, I'm so glad I could find this quickly. Jack Rackham's little gay sunglasses!
What? Why does he have sunglasses? Oh.
I
What?
love it. I don't
Wait.
know if these are historically accurate, but I love them so much.
Wait, what? Wasn't Jack Rackham an Assassin's Creed character?
No, Jack Rackham was a real
person.
pirate.
Oh.
Real person.
Real pirate.
The sort of shame of Assassin's Creed is there's so much to talk about.
What's your top 5 things in Assassin's Creed?
Jump. Kill. Women.
Hide.
Hide. Cool.
Okay, that's 5. I want that to be put on the box art for the next Assassin's Creed.
That's my review of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Jump.
Run.
Women.
Women.
Hide.
Kill.
Cool. Oh yeah, there was
Cool.
kill. Oh, maybe you said 6 then.
I had one of them.
Alex,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, put in hide.
Yeah, Alex put hide into the pot.
By the way, that needs to be in our tweet.
I can make sure that happens.
I want to see if maybe Random Page gives me anything fun, which is
I
definitely...
haven't had this open the whole time and I never hit a random page.
Oh, great. Danish Axe. Fantastic. Thanks.
Yeah, I feel like most of these will be pretty dry.
Sorry, I'm just looking at Odyssey art now, and I'm looking at Cassandra and going, oh, women.
Guys, she's... Oh, we can talk a little bit about Cassandra, because she's so fucking women.
Show me.
She's... Oh, women. Honestly, my head is very no thoughts, head arms.
Yeah.
Here's a great picture of her being incredibly...
Oh, I see.
She's so women. She's so pretty.
They figured out how to make characters pretty by Odyssey.
Seems
Mostly.
they also figured out how to model women.
They figured that one out.
even by Origins, it was so funny because like the last Assassin's Creed game that I really played in earnest was like, I think 3, and then I sort of dropped off the franchise for a little bit because it got shitty. And then when I came back to Origins, I was like, wait, this game fucking looks good. Like, really good. Where's my handsome man? Give me my handsome man Bayek. Where is he? No, I don't want shaved him. He looks bad when he's shaved. The humor's bitch!
Sorry, I just...
Oh, Hippocrates Clinic.
Yeah, Hippocrates.
Hippocrates, fuck. Wait, it's spelled with a K?
It can be.
Oh.
Yeah,
Fucking Pythagoras is here!
Wait, really?
Her dad is Pythagoras!
Is
God,
there
I
a
love-
character list?
Oh, Assassin's Creed is a good fucking franchise.
Hey! Hey, the caption on this image!
What is I guess that's spoilers. Hey, this Caduceus staff looks photoshopped in. It has completely
really
different
funny.
lighting elements.
I think it's because it's like an evil relic or some shit.
Okay.
Which doesn't explain why it looks that bad. I'm just...
Cassandra meeting your father Pythagoras. Cassandra, your dad made triangles.
He invented them.
Yeah.
There was no triangles before.
Yeah, he discovered triangles.
Oh, wait, let me link my handsome man Bayek.
Oh,
There's
that's
an-
a man.
There is a point at which... This is my favorite part of the game. So, like, he goes and meets up with his cool epic wife. And she, like, shaves his beard and his hair. And I get that that's, like, the style for Egypt, but he does look significantly worse. He's not sexy anymore. But the best part about the game is
Maybe
you can
not
just put
to
it...
your... Hey, show me him shaved. Maybe you just have bad taste.
I'm... Okay, that's fair.
Show
I
me
just
him
don't think...
shaved.
I don't think he's as handsome. I mean, obviously, like, he still has...
That's a shitty photo.
It's a bad photo. I'm trying to find a
so
good photo.
dark.
Oh,
So much of Assassin's Creed is so fucking dark.
Well, you're an assassin. You kill people in there. This is dark, but it's closer.
Dude,
Um,
I can't see this.
I'm trying so hard, Rook. I want you to see him. Oh, God.
I have my brightness all the way up. He just looks like a man.
Well, yeah, that's fair. He looks like a man. When he has a beard and hair, he's like, ooh, that's a man. But the best part about this game is you can just turn his beard back on.
Really?
Yeah, you can just turn his hair and his
Pick it up
beard
off
back
the
on.
floor and staple it back on.
Yeah. In less fun, you can also take his like hood on and off, which is like a fun, you know.
That's so weird. Why would they have that be a... Well, I get that it's like cultural, but why would they put that in if they could just let you turn it back on?
I don't know.
That's cowardly, honestly.
I was pretty sad when it happened. Hey, Alex, this is really doing my fucking head in. I don't know
Alex
why
just said
Pythagoras is in
Pythagoras. He's just an old man. Oh, he has his tit out. Post Pythagoras right titty.
Mods are me, post Pythagoras titty.
He has a very young chest for a very old looking face.
Yeah.
Oh, his legs also look very spry.
Oh, here's a fun thing that I didn't realize. If you go onto Bayek's page, it has his name in hieroglyphs,
Oh, that's fun.
which is fun and cool. Hold on, post.
Oh.
I want to find.
God, he looks so cool.
He looks so
All
cool
of these-
and epic.
All of these renders are so cool. I love them.
The assassins generally look very cool.
Except Pythagoras right titty.
Don't know what's up with Pythagoras' titty. I'm so bothered by the fact that he's... Oh, who at one point had dealings with a piece of meat in the staff of Hermes Jesus Christ, Trismegistus. That can't be how you say that. The artifact rendered him immortal until he passed it on to his child Cassandra. So I guess it may be... I don't know, maybe that's why his chest is so weirdly young. Doesn't explain why he has an old man face. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that they just decided to make him have boy chest.
I am trying to find the outfit that I have been wearing in Origins since I got it because it's real good, but it's going to take me a little bit. I don't want a video.
Hermes? Hermes exists? Hermes exists and was fucking the
Oh, did they
precursors?
canonize the gods?
They canonized
Well,
the Greek gods and
I
they
mean,
were all
fucking-
the precursors.
Yeah, like Minerva and Juno and Jupiter, like those
I
aren't
did
just
notice Juno and Jupiter on a page.
like... Yeah, like, those aren't like funny names. Like, I think they are sort of implied to be like the gods.
Oh, Hermes is just a little white boy. I mean, I meant to say blonde, not white.
Hey, this is really funny. I hate being a Greek god. They made me do Fortnite dances and play my lute and shout, "Go, white boy, go!"
Oh, is he one of the cyber people? He has marking on his
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah.
God, I hate
gods
how
are all-
HD the skin textures are. Put it away!
It's very...
Upsetting.
Yes. Oh, where is this fucking...
I just...
My fa-
I just want to see the texture model. I want to skin Hermes. I just want to see his texture map. Cause like he has all these like very specific freckles and blemishes and stuff.
It's so upsetting the way that you've decided to describe that.
I
to
really
skin
don't
him.
like how you've described it.
So this is the cool outfit that I wear normally, which is you get this, like, you participate in a festival and you get this cool outfit.
Furry.
Shut
Oh,
up!
furry.
I mean, yes, but shut up!
I mean, it's just a cat mask.
It's just a cat mask.
Yeah. So it's a Sekhmet costume, a costume worn during the reenactment of the battle between Sekhmet and Isfet, held as part of Yamu's festival. The fun thing about this outfit is if you leave the helmet on, like you don't turn the hood off, all of Bayek's dialogue is sort of muffled and tinny
That's really funny.
because he's speaking through the mask, and I love that.
That's a cute detail.
That was one of the things where I was like, this game is truly fucking advanced, which is funny because I think it came out in like 2017. And oh, I don't like that. Brooke, I don't like this skin.
Oh yeah,
rabbit.
there's Ezio's skin. I found Ezio's skin. I remember that this was a picture that was going around a little while ago. Hang on,
Oh,
I'm sending
boy.
his flesh.
Yeah.
There he is. That's what the skin maps look like.
It was even more upsetting than I thought it was
Yeah,
going
that's
to
what they look
be.
like, because they just get stretched out over a model.
They do, but somebody had to make this, and I feel really bad for them.
That's what a 2D human looks like.
Something about his lips in particular is incredibly funny to me.
This is what it would look like if you were skinned.
Hey, Rook.
What?
No, shut up. This picture also makes him look unnervingly like Adam Sandler.
He does!
Oh, why did they not cast Adam Sandler to be in the Assassin's Creed movie?
Why was it Michael Fassbender?
Could have been Adam Sandler.
I'm imagining a world where Adam Sandler was in the Assassin's Creed movie.
No.
It's the best possible. Hey, this is a really good sentence. I have exported this texture file from Assassin's Creed Ezio collection. It wasn't too hard.
It was easy to obtain his skin.
We're gonna hate the way you talk about this.
I'm doing it on purpose.
I know you are,
mean,
I
I'm-
don't like it.
Oh. Okay, so I can't seem to find a good picture of Desmond's face, but I want to point out, you will notice that Ezio has a scar on his lip. That is apparently genetic
Oh,
because
the good old
Desmond...
genetic scar.
Yeah, I'll
the
tell you,
good old
yours has it
genetic
as well.
scar. Oh my god, I forgot he did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Desmond just has this cool boy genetic scar and it makes no fucking sense.
Oh, I found Desmond's skin.
Yeah, post Desmond skin!
I'm sending him.
He looks even worse than I remember.
Yeah.
The ear just sort of floating down in the lower left corner is perhaps the best part of this.
Yeah.
I went to Desmond's page to see if I could get a good picture of his scar, though this awful texture map shows it off. And I found this really good image instead.
That's what it looks like when I say I'm T-posing at you.
The caption for this is Desmond meeting Clay on the Animus Island.
Oh, I don't remember Clay, but I kind of do, and I don't want to.
Clay.
I remember it
Kazmarek.
being, like, weird, bad writing.
Clay was a very badly written character, and it was a weird period where... So, if I remember correctly... Oh no, don't go to my Flight Rising tab. So, what the fuck was he? This is just really fun. Sorry.
You gotta read it, you gotta read it, you gotta read it. You laughed at it, you gotta read it.
I'm going to.
That's the rule.
Are you kidding me, Ubisoft? I exported this texture from Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. The name of this file is chr_p_Desmond_head_HR_diffuse map. But I'm not satisfied. This texture is even worse than the original Assassin's Creed 3 game textures. I almost don't believe that because I've seen pictures of the remaster of Assassin's Creed 3 and it looks
I mean,
genuine.
Desmond's is at least less sharp than the other one.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed 3 Remaster looks pretty good. I mean, it's still, like, the color palette is still very bad and muddy because
I'm just finding a bunch of skin GTA characters now.
That's incredibly good. So, if I remember correctly about my lores, isn't Desmond subject 17?
I think so.
I think so. So what they just keep fucking doing this. Abstergo just captures somebody who they think has like good genes to go plunder, and then stick them into the fucking Matrix and then drain them dry of all their brain memories.
Oh.
So Clay Kazmarek, who I've linked here, who is this incredibly generic looking white man, which is probably why I don't remember him super well. Also known as Subject 16 of the Animus Project, was a member of the Assassin Order during the early 21st century. Born into a family of engineers, Clay faced psychological problems due to developmental disorders, so he has crazy person disease.
Oh no.
Yeah, As a member of the Assassin's Brotherhood, Clay's most important mission was to infiltrate Abstergo Industries as a subject of the Animus Project in order to obtain more information on the Animus. Labeled Subject 16, Clay was forced to relive the memories of his ancestors via his genetic memory. So yeah, they basically just, like, Abstergo traps him, and because he has crazy problems, he, like...
He's evil because he has crazy person disorder.
Yay.
Eventually, Clay managed to create an artificial construct of himself inside the Animus. Through hacking the machine during the night and split it into 30 pieces, hidden within 20 glyphs and 10 rifts to be united by his successor, as well as sending one final email to his father. Content warning for Soup of Side. The next day, Clay killed himself by slitting his wrists with a ballpoint pen.
Oh no.
The best part about this is citation needed. Me fucking 2wiki, that doesn't sound possible.
Wait, what? Wait, what did you say? Wait, what? Oh, the ballpoint pen.
Yeah, that doesn't...
Yeah.
That just seems like it would be needlessly hard.
Yeah.
Like, not to critique his soup of side technique, but, like, there are other ways to do that!
Yeah.
So yeah, he, like... Here's a great picture called a digitized avatar of Clay appearing before Desmond. So yeah, he's literally like an evil ghost in the machine now. And he continues to haunt you through Desmond's games.
Okay.
And he's like, "Oh, Abstergo's bad and they fucked me up. I'm evil." And then he sends you to this terrible polygonal realm, which I posted a little bit about when he was T-posing, but like he just gets sent to this island and it has all these squares.
Yeah,
these
sure a bunch of rectangles.
Just a bunch of fucking rectangles stuck
Bunch of
into the
fucking
ground.
obelisks.
Like black obsidian rectangular obelisks stuck into the ground.
Wow, I love Space Odyssey 2001.
And I don't even, like... I don't know a whole lot about him, because I think his story wraps up in, like, Revelations and 3.
Yeah, it wraps up in 3, and it's... Ugh.
I've heard the ending of 3 is really bad, which makes me very scared to go back to it, but also, like, I like the history part of 3, so...
Yeah, you don't play 3 for any of the modern plot, because the modern plot of 3 fucking sucks.
Yeah, no, I mean, well... Honestly, I don't play Assassin's Creed for the modern plot, period. It's why I don't know as much about it.
Does anything even happen?
Oh, like I said at the beginning, that's where all the, like, plot is.
Oh.
I'll give you
Everything you...
I'll let you in on a secret. So this is why the Assassin's Creed movie fucking sucked.
Oh, was it all plot?
It was, they were spending too much time in the modern universe and did not realize that nothing interesting happens in the modern universe.
What's even, like, the point? Why does he go to the past?
So, in general, they go to the past because all of these ancestors interacted with these, like, relics and artifacts of that precursor civilization. Whether it's pieces of Eden, or the apples, or the staffs.
Or fighting George Washington.
Or fighting George Washington. So, basically, what Abstergo is doing is yeeting people back into the past and playing through their memories until they come into contact with these relics. Then they're like, oh shit, that's where these are. now, or this gives us a clue to where this is now.
So we go fucking get it.
So we go fucking get it. Like, in Black Flag, for example, the whole thing is centered around this observatory in which you use a fucked up evil crystal skull and a drop of somebody's blood, and then you can stalk them with the power of the precursors, or whatever.
Okay.
And so, in the past, you're like, oh, you know, the fun thing about the modern plot of Black Flag is, ostensibly, you're introduced, like, you are a nameless player character who is working for Abstergo Entertainment and is collecting, like, data on pirates to help them make their movie or video game. I couldn't quite tell. So it's, first of all, it's incredibly meta. You are playing a video game in which they are making a video game about pirates.
Okay.
And it's my favorite thing in the world. But it turns out they keep getting mysterious directives from, like, I don't know, their benefactors or sponsors or whatever, that's like, hey, go find out more about that observatory. Hey, go find out more about that observatory. And they're like, hey, we really need that observatory. So that sort of becomes the plot of your game, which is, yeah, we're doing pirate things, but we're also going to go find this observatory so that the Templars can get it. Yeah, so the best part about it is, founded as Abstergo Entertainment in 2010, the company's main mediums included video games, movies, and other media sourced from genetic memories. Their games were released in partnership with Ubisoft. So, like, in canon, like, Assassin's Creed Liberation and stuff are...
I was wondering when you were going to say Ubisoft.
are canon games released within the plot of Assassin's Creed. It's so recursive. I love it.
You're playing the game to play the game to make the game.
Yeah.
It's so good.
God.
It's one of the few times that, like, the modern plot was even slightly genuinely entertaining just because of how weird and meta it was. And also, like, the modern sections were fairly short. You would just mostly, like, walk around and talk to people, like, it was whatever. And it was also incredibly funny to me that you were playing a game developer that was making the game that you were playing. It was really good. It wasn't like, oh, you go fuck around as Desmond. Like, when Desmond was the main player character, there was entirely too much playing as him.
Oh.
Like, you would actually do stuff, like, because I guess if you spend too much time in the Animus, your brain gets, you learn things, like, you get the bleeding effect, which is basically, you spend too much time in the Animus, and then you're a good assassin. So, Desmond used those cool skills, and he, like, goes and does stuff, and I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, there's, like, a segment in, I believe, Revelation, where you just, like, go climb Abstergo Tower or whatever.
Oh my god, yes. That might have been in Brotherhood, but either way, it fucking sucked.
Well, isn't that parkour the part that people play the games for?
Yes, but I don't play it to play as a boring Desmond Miles. I play it to play as fun Ezio Auditore Differenze.
Okay.
And it was just like, I don't care, like, especially in the Desmond portion, I was like, I literally don't care about what's happening. I want to get back to the history part, which is what I'm interested in.
I want to go fuck Da Vinci.
I want to go fuck Da Vinci. So it seems that they've realized that, and like in Origins, at least currently where I'm at, it's incredibly funny. You pop out of the Animus every now and again, you, like, look at some emails, and then you just go right back in.
God.
Even in a game, I am forced to receive emails. But it's like they very clearly realize, they're like, oh, people don't like this. And so they are very conservative about how they use them, and moved a little bit more of the burden of the storytelling into the history part. Like, you learn a little bit more about, like, what the observatory is when you're actually playing as Edward Kenway. You actually get to learn that in the history portion, and, like, you go visit it and stuff. It's way more interesting when you get to have this sort of continuity of, like, oh, you get to go visit it as the dude you've been playing for however many hours, as opposed to, here's fucking Desmond Miles who's gonna go to this place. It's not as cool. Oh, and here's a holographic god that just talks to you.
Assassin's Creed is a weird game franchise, and I do like it dearly. I'm not gonna say I love it, I like it dearly.
I like it dearly, and it is one of the things that I allow myself to have cisgendered tweets about. Like, I remember when the Valhalla trailer dropped, I was like, all right, this is my cis tweet for the month. Assassin's Creed Valhalla! I'm very excited about that game also because you can also play as a woman in that one, and Ubisoft is like, hey, shut the fuck up, there are women, they exist. So it is kind of cool also that they've completely turned their tack to be like, it's too hard to animate boobis, to being like, hey, shut the fuck up, there were female warriors in Viking times. Shut the fuck up and suck my dick. Anyways, this is the game has not come out yet. I believe it comes out in November. But this is cool, epic lady Viking.
She's scary and has big axe.
She's scary and has big axe. The best part about this is, as far as I can tell, they have the same name also.
Oh, that fucks.
Both of the women, both the female and the male version are Ivor. Which is also fun because that means their entire page is written with they them pronouns.
Fuck yeah.
So, like, right, I guess? Which I love this tag. Like, I think it's cool that in Odyssey you could play as two, like, distinct characters. But I love this, just like, yeah, you just play as a girl or a boy. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
So...
Oh, I've already...
Fuck it. Gender.
It also has their name in runes.
Yeah!
Oh, fuck yeah.
It did also technically have that for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but it was just, like, Greek letters, which isn't as fun. Like, particularly on Cassandra's page, I'm like,
It's just as
damn.
Cassandra.
It just kind of just says Cassandra. It's not as fun.
Oh, yeah.
But no, Assassin's Creed is a fun franchise, and I'm so glad that I got to introduce that there are, like, weird gods, and Adam and humans are, like, weird cyber slaves. There's a lot going on with that, and I only know a little bit about it because it confuses me a lot. But it's also just really good. And I love it. Assassin's Creed is a good franchise.
Shit, what was your top 5 again?
I think it was Run, Jump, Kill, Woman, and Cool.
Yes.
That is still my top 5. I will say, in general, my review of the franchise is most of the games are good and are fun to play. The ones that are bad to play, specifically, are Revelations. I can't get over, like, I don't want to be super negative, but it's just real bad. The thing about it that sucks is you spend 2 games playing as, like, a relatively young Ezio, and then in Revelations he's, like, old.
Oh my god, that's right, he's old.
And he sucks. Like, he's not as good at doing things. And everybody in the world is very good at killing you now.
Part 6
And
Jotaro.
so it's... Yeah, basically! You're playing like a shitty 50-year-old. He can't climb for shit anymore.
And everybody wants to kill him.
And everybody wants to kill him. Sorry, at the top of Desmond's page is this article is about the assassin. You may be looking for Desmond, the dog.
I am, actually.
Significantly more about the dog.
Hey, apparently it's a corgi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this dog looks real bad.
It's not a good looking dog.
Oh, no.
Benjamin was a dog belonging to Mary Ann Disraeli, the wife of British Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli in 1868. This dog was usually kept inside Mary Ann's handbag. I'm just really tickled by this dog. This dog's name is a reference to Desmond Miles, the modern-day protagonist of the original Assassin's Creed and its sequels. This was something Sean Hastings did not find amusing at all. Oh, Sean, you fucking annoying British fucker. I'm gonna say something cursed while I link Sean Hastings' page, which is, this man is what everybody wanted Human Wheatley to look like.
We gotta end here. We gotta end here now. I gotta cut us off.
Yeah, I will ever so briefly. Sean is a fantastic character because they made somebody who was unapologetically annoying and did not want to be there.
Oh, wow.
He fucking sucks. He is constantly complaining. He whines about everything. He just clearly like doesn't want to be here. I'm like, why? Like, being an assassin is incredibly dangerous. If it pisses you off this much, like, just stop. Rook, stop!
It's the first result for Human Wheatley. He just looks like an off-color Sean Hastings.
It's really. You know, the best part is I also apparently just realized that his voice actor also just looks like him.
Oh.
Well, that makes sense. A lot of the games are mocapped, aren't they?
I think so. They do some mocapping.
Capping.
My brain is gonna shut off.
Boy, I'm gonna look at Pythagoras again for a second. Oh, my brain just melted completely. It's gone. But no, Assassin's Creed is a very fun franchise. It's not, like, the best, but to give just the slightest of credit to Ubisoft, with Origins, they were like, oh shit, we gotta make good games again. And they fucking do. They make good games now. But if you're gay in, like, history, Assassin's Creed is a fun franchise. And also, like, it's fun to be a little gay parkour person.
Yeah, jumping around.
Yeah, and in many ways, a lot of, like, the free-running parkour mechanics are well done and very tight, and it's just, like, fun to run around.
They do look very fun to move in.
They are.
Obviously, the newer the game, the smoother the mechanics, but even Black Flag was, like, fun and not full of, like, wonky bullshit. I think by that one, they'd really sorted out, like, the pathfinding.
Yeah.
And so you didn't, like, 2 and Brotherhood were really bad about, like, you're just gonna run up a fucking wall now. You're just gonna run up a wall, and
hey, it's a feature.
It's, there are some things that I like, which I cannot earnestly recommend. Assassin's Creed isn't one of those. There are a handful of be like, no, you should actually play at least a couple of these entries, because they're good.
They're fun.
And they're fun.
It's fun to be parkour man.
What would you say is the best one, Aster? In your opinion?
So, that's sort of a complicated question.
Which one has the most run and jump and kill and women?
Ooh. That is a good question. So...
And the most cool.
The most cool... So, I will give two sort of
separate... No, all 5.
Yeah. Two sort of separate answers. Since, like I mentioned with Origins, they introduce kind of a new way of the game. Like, their skill trees and leveling up and very different. I would say, honestly, with the new trilogy, pick whatever setting interests you the most, whether you like ancient Egypt or ancient Greece or ancient Vikings. I don't know if Valhalla's good, but I assume it is.
I mean, if the 2 most recent ones have been good, then that one probably will be.
Yeah, it seems like they're on a good streak and continuing it just by making more cool things. I would say, like, if you kind of enjoy the older model, I would say Black Flag is pretty good, like, peak Assassin's Creed in its original conception. Like, there is not leveling up, there is minimal weapons. One of the things that I like about Assassin's Creed Black Flag is in 3 they introduced ship combat, and it's, like, not very good.
It's kind of ass.
It's kind of ass. But for whatever reason, people really liked that part. Like, it was weird. They didn't like the rest of 3, but they liked the ship combat, whereas I was like, I had fun wandering around in my homestead and hunting deer. And I was like, oh, fuck this ship combat. But they're like, okay, people like the ship combat, fuck it, we're making a pirate game. And they really nailed it down and refined it, but there is still a good amount of run and jump and kill and women and cool. And so I would say, like, if you are sort of interested in my more pure, quote unquote, like old Assassin's Creed experience, like Black Flag still holds up, even though everybody looks like dog shit. It's kind of charming how bad everybody looks.
Yeah, there's some enjoyment to be had in a game that looks quote unquote bad.
A little bit bad. And a lot of the screenshots that I were showing you were very muddy and bad, but there are genuinely
it looks like
pleasant...
a very dark game.
Yeah, there were genuinely, like, pleasant to look at areas. I mean, a lot of it's in the Caribbean, which is, like, a lot of, like, jungle. So there was, like, green, which was nice to look at.
Yeah, not just shades of brown and gray.
So I think, you know, if you're looking for a slightly more modern experience, a little bit more expansive, RPG-like, pick the historical part that you think is the best. If you're interested in a more classic, you know, what I think... Like, Black Sails, Jesus Christ. I continually fuck that up. Especially when I had just finished Black Sails and was starting Black Flag, I could not stop mixing the two up. Which is the fun tidbit is, that is understandably the highest crossover on AO3 for Black Sails. As they're just like, Edward Kenway's here now! But, you know, if you're looking for kind of a peak Assassin's Creed, I would say, you know, it hadn't been bloated by, like, a bunch of extra shit, which I think sort of, like, Unity and Syndicate got a little bloated. It's they nailed it. Now, I'm still going to play Syndicate because I'm gay and I love Victorian era, and also, that one definitely has a higher percentage of women.
Yeah.
Because you can be one.
It's got a percentage instead of a 0%.
Hey, I mean, there's women in Black Flag. There's Anne Bonny, who I love, and Mary Reed, who I also love.
Can't play him, though.
That's true. In terms of percentage of playable women, Syndicate has a percentage, as opposed to Black Flag 0%. But no, it's a fun franchise, and especially, like, and in terms of, like, I don't know, Origins at least plays well on PC. They're fun. And I like them. They're definitely,
That's
like...
the most important thing.
They're fun and I like them. Most of the older entries are not worth full price anymore, just because, you know, whatever. But, like, super recently, there was, like, a crazy good sale on Assassin's Creed. If you can get one of those motherfuckers for, like, 70% off, just do it. Like,
Yeah,
obviously,
smart,
like, if your rig can handle it.
Yeah.
Your gamer rig.
Your gamer rig
I'm gonna make
can
fun of
handle
you for
it.
calling it a rig.
Isn't that what the language that gamers use?
Right,
Yes,
I'm making fun of the
Alex
gamer
is-
language.
Yes, Alex is going to make fun of me for being a gamer, which is fair.
Okay.
No, but, like, if your setup can handle it, get them for, like, 70% off. They're fun games. That's my official diagnosis. In fact, I have to... So, this is my one gripe, and it's mostly just with weird Steam stuff. For whatever reason, me and my brother were like, oh, let's share, like, Assassin's Creed games, because he wanted to play Origins, and I owned it. So, there's, like, a cool thing on Steam. If you sign in on someone else's computer, you can, like, share your library. Because of some weird, funky bullshit where you have to sign in to fucking Uplay.
Play.
It wouldn't let you share Origins, and it may not let me share Odyssey, and it pissed me off. So I'm like, if I want to play Valhalla and Kyle wants to play Valhalla, I have to buy 2 fucking copies of it.
No.
So, but weirdly enough, if I go to Steam right now, because I can look at, like, my brother's games and my games, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is there. So I might just have to sign into his Uplay account, which, considering he is...
I'd figure that'd be what it is, unless they have, like, a limit on machines it can be on, which is stupid and
it's so weird
capitalistic
because,
nightmare.
like, Origin was like, you theoretically should just be able to log into this person's Uplay account. No.
Oh.
And also, fuck you.
Okay.
So we'll see if Odyssey lets me download it, and even if I have to log into Kyle's Uplay, I can walk over to where he is in the basement and be like, hey, let me in. That's my one gripe, and it's honestly... It's not even, like, Assassin's Creed's fault specifically, it's Ubisoft's fault.
Yeah.
Fuck Ubisoft hours.
I hate Uplay, stop making me use it.
No one likes Uplay.
Nobody likes it!
Doesn't it not even, like, work? Or am I thinking of the one that Sims uses?
You're thinking of Origin, which works like dog shit.
Okay.
Uplay is not like a game host. I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
Engine? No.
Like a game hosting platform. Like I don't think you like buy games on Uplay. It's mostly just like a weird.
Just put DRM in your game like a normal fucking studio.
I know! No, we're gonna make you fucking keep track of another login in 2020.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed good games. And I there's a chance that I will circle back around and get really into the comics. There's not a whole lot of them, which means that it's realistic for me to read all of them. But yeah, I don't know how to wrap this up because
It's
I'm
almost
just
been
like,
2 hours. You're done now.
You're done now. I'm kicking you out. I've been trying to kick you out for like the past 20 minutes.
Yeah. I checked and we were at like an hour and 8 minutes when you last tried to do it, and now it's an hour and 50 minutes.
video games.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you.
You can find
take
us
the
on Twitter at Wikiboys Pod, and you can find me on Twitter at Twigling.
You can find me on Twitter at Alex Mostly Okay.
You can find me on Twitter at Nerd of Goodness.
And this has been Wikiboys, and we'll fix it in post.
Ha-cha-cha. I don't know what that's off. I don't know what that. I didn't just want to be like, oh, we will. Because I'm sick of that. I'm trying out new stuff.
Yeah.
The music used in this episode is Quirky Dog by Kevin MacLeod, found at Incomptech.com and used under the Creative Commons license.